Alrighty, hello, hello. It's time once again for another art stream in which we are working on this animatic some more. And honestly, I got quite a bit of it done. I got some chance to work on it on Friday, so there is a chance that I might finish the line art part early. And if that's the case, let me get my keyboard over here. If that's the case, I might either move on to doing more of it, doing like the fills, which I don't know if that's going to be super exciting to watch, or I've also got backgrounds to work on for new Eldritch Room parts, so we might move over to that. We'll see. Hello, thank you for coming. Hope that you are doing well on this Sunday. Yeah, well, maybe I'll ask what people want me to do once we get to that point. We still got a little bit ways left to go, but I'm a little farther along on this than I thought I would be at this point. So that's always a plus. Well, even once I finish this, I'm going to, it'll be posted around Halloween. Ooh, silver ink. I always like doing that. Alright, I gotta carefully inch my way around here in order to do the fill correctly. The fills, at least on this program, if you want to do the auto matte tool, require completely closed lines. So I gotta do that, and I did this on the wrong layer. Luckily, I can move it really easily. But lesbians get to be cute. Observe their cuteness. Ooh. I also gotta post Patreon rewards soon. I think I've got those about done. At least all the ones I've gotten. Yep. Well, sometimes especially silver pens, or metallic pens and stuff like that, they're designed to show up better on colored paper than white paper. At least I remember one time I had when I was in high school, I had a diary with like black kind of paper for it, so I used like colored gel pens to write in it, and that was something that like silver would look good on, whereas it looks a little bit washed out if you use it on white paper. But it ends up looking really good on like colored paper, especially black paper. I need to get back to doing waking up drawings again, but just for a test at one point I had like painted one of the pages in my sketchbook black and then just used like metallic silver pencils on it, and it was really fun. I'm gonna do more like that again. A little mixed media goodness. It's good for you. Oh, you could try just painting a page black and then drawing on top of it. Again, mixed media is fun. Fun stuff. Let's see. Most of this is... Really, that's also wrong layer because she's on the bottom layer. Let's see. Gotta scooch her up a little bit. Hard to tell sometimes. Which parts I change and which parts I don't. I need better like watercolor paper or something. I don't think I have any decent paper to work with. Like I have some old watercolor paper, but it got like wet a couple times, so it's like wet and dried out, wet and dried out. So now it's kind of falling apart. What to do is cute smile on the shoes. Oh wait, she does not have both nostrils there, even though she probably should. Yeah, it's fun to do that. Susie's feeling a little nervous. And I suppose we're never gonna see Hatted Rouse again. His hat forever lost. So sad. Well, I like him fine without the hat, but I know some people very much miss his hat. See how shows her face. Probably need to sponge that. So I can see what I'm doing. Whew. Yeah, good grief. What am I, scene 24, like out of 27 or something? It's going faster than I anticipated. Well, that's good. I would like to get it done. I can get back to Smeltertree and stuff too, because I know I'm behind on that, especially for the next boss battle thing is Tina. That's going to be a while to do. Although actually probably next week I'll be working on like the color YouTube thumbnail for this thing. I'll do a nice little painterly one like I did with the last one. Oh, I'm glad that those were a lifesaver for you. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff that often happens behind the scenes I don't necessarily post, but it's just kind of for my own purposes. Or it's just for funsies. And what did I call it? I think it was like a Whitestone Isles or something like that. I need more flustered, embarrassed Susie being a cutie. Being a cute. See. Oh, that was, I can't remember what I called that. I mean, I know, the field area was called something else, but I don't remember what I called the rest of that dark world. I think it was just like town pool hall or something like that, like pool table. Because they were at a pool table. Or a billiards table. Or pool town hall. Okay, that's what it was. Because there's a town hall and a pool hall. And those are not the same thing. No. Well. behind the scenes. I always feel like Noelle's antlers are a little bit odd for me to draw because they're extremely cartoony and like canon. They don't really quite look like proper reindeer antlers, but whatever. Whatever. Okay. Hopefully I got all the lines closed on this one. I think so, yeah. Close your lines! Oh, that's something I did. Nope, about the same. No. And then he could do it. He could do it after all. We're looking on 25? Yeah. Okay. Maybe I should bump up the thing on this slightly. Yeah. Well, I hope people like this one when it's done. Woo. Mm-hmm. I see, I see. Everyone can do that. You just get 5 million controllers. Oop. This is Lancer's way of helping. It's just he's gonna Lancer his way to the Lancer. I'm a little sad that he doesn't get to. He's probably gonna be able to do less and less in later chapters. Aside from being a funny guy. Hello, hello, thank you for coming. We are working away on the last of this clean lines for this. I'm like, no, Lancer, my boy. My cute little ball. And be skeptical, look for Noel. Anyways, hope you all are doing well. Aw. That's okay. Let's see. Move that out of the way. We'll say the nice thing about drawing in Storyboard Pro is vector lines. Makes your life a little easier. That's okay. It's fun to make things for whoever will read them and for yourself. It's good to just make things in general. And otherwise, why not do it just for yourself? I swear, I feel like every time I draw her antlers, they're like a slightly different shape, but what else can be done about that? I do not know. That'll be up to you to find out. '70 was already pretty dang long for a comic. I don't know if you call them chapters or not, but people seem to do that. But I just call it parts. Still better than doing Elder Noel's antlers, which are a pain in the butt, even when I'm using a guide. That's a lot of chapters. Okay. It's like when Noel does this pose. He's like, I'm being sneaky. And secretive. Yeah, I literally just created a guide for myself to draw them. Just to trace them because that was easier. Easier than trying to do it by hand every time, even though they might look a little flat in some things. What I needed to do is make a model in Blender or something and then just copy that. I need to learn Blender for reasons. Like, I used to be able to do 3D, so I probably could pick it up okay if I set my mind to it. It would just need the time to set my mind to it. And time is never on my side. I know. I used to be able to do 3D. Well, I don't know if I was super good at it, but I could, hack it okay. I'm sure my topology was not very good. But again, if I practiced, I could probably do okay. For Sakurai and more. I still haven't played the new Smash. I still have not played Sora in Smash. Can you believe that? I know I need to get it at some point. I don't really have anybody to play with, though. I'm not lose to my brother all the time like I did when I had original Smash or Melee. And that was what I grew up playing with. I did play Melee all the time, and Yoshi was my main. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I just need to get some tutorials and stuff. Yeah, like, again, it might be like a riding a bike thing in that, okay, once I figure out, terminology and stuff, I can get the hang of it, but it will take time for me to do that, because it has been, like 12 years or something since I've done 3D thoroughly, so I'm certain tons of stuff has changed since then. And Blender is also not the same as Maya, what I learned with Maya when I was younger. I was excited that Asriel mained Yoshi, and then he stopped maining Yoshi because he got embarrassed. And he mained, I don't know, what was the analog for Sword Girl? Magic Sword Girl or whatever? Some character I don't know about. Sword Magician. The items are fun. He mained Robin? I don't know. I almost want to say he named Sheik Zelda, but I don't think she ever had a sword. Pyrrha? Maybe Pyrrha? Lucina? I feel like it'd have to be somebody that was in like Brawl or something. Yeah, a lot of sword wheels. Well, it's a sword magician, and it's a lady because he's like, oh, I want to play as the hot lady. Because I'm a teenager. No, I know, it's true. You don't have to abandon the green lizard. Asriel, why did you get embarrassed? And then that absolutely caught me in the quiz things, along with what's your favorite food? I wasn't listening to Chris. I wasn't paying attention. Yeah. No, I thought it would be chocolate again. Wrong. Yeah, I didn't even notice Chris coughing. I did not. I was like, oh, I gotta answer this question as fast as possible. No, wrong. You had to stop and pay attention. And then Susie makes fun of you for it. Like, how did you get that wrong, Chris? And Chris is like, well, sorry, I'm being possessed by another worldly entity that doesn't know me that well. Player, you had one job. And you were correct, it was pie. Let's see. Exactly. It's like, oh, you were too quick on the draw there. You thought this would go one way, but it actually went the other way. There's a lesson in that. Oh no, I'm sorry about the sleep schedule. That's not fun. Yeah, it seems like Chris does like chocolate. Like, they like hot chocolate and they keep stealing kisses from Toriel's room, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's their favorite food. So they do like chocolate, but maybe it's not their favorite. They like pie. Yeah, oh my goodness, I need more Applin candy from Pokemon Go. Apparently there's an event coming up and it's like, all the ways to evolve Applin are like, you need 400 candy and like 20 apples. I'm like, why is it impossible to freaking evolve Applin? I got my apple pie one. I need Flapple, and then there's like 2 other evolutions for Applin. So I'm gonna have to get so much apple candy. So many apples. No, basically it's Sword and Shield, and like, you can only get Flapple in one, and you can only get Appleton in another. Depends on the kind of apples you have with it. I really like Appleton. I really like the evolutions. They're so cute. So, please, give me more apple Pokemon. Give me the apples. Apple Dragon. I thought one was like basically kind of guaranteed. Like, you will definitely get either Flapple or Appleton because you'll get the correct apple for it in one version but not the other. I know, because I got Sword and I wanted an Appleton, but I pretty much had to get Flapple because that was the apple that was available, was the Flapple one. Yeah. I think I had Flapple on my team for quite a while in Sword. Yeah, I think they're going to introduce syrupy apples in Pokemon Go. But then they're like, you can also get, I guess there's like a apple Hydra you can get, but it's an evolution of like the syrupy apple. And yeah, it's like 600 candy total to get the apple Hydra. And I'm like, good grief, why is this so dang expensive, Pokemon Go? Because you need like 200 candy to get one evolution, and then like another 400 candy to get to the Hydra. Like, why is this like the world's most expensive evolution? For a Pokemon that does not show up very often at all. At least when I was looking online, that's what it said, and I was like, what? Hydrapple, that was it. I want an apple Hydra. Why is it so expensive? Oh, Rouse double. Oh. I know, it is lucky for being cute. Everybody wants it because it's a cute little apple guy, and everybody likes a little apple guy. I definitely want a Chris's Pokemon. Okay, if Chris was going to have, you know, a Pokemon trainer, which version of Applin would they have? Would they have just regular Applin, or would they have one of the evolutions for Applin? And if so, which evolution would they have? Appleton? Because that is apple pie. Which mons become final? I'm trying to remember what my team was for Sword and Shield. I'm pretty sure one of them was Flapple for a very long time. I think I also had a Runiculus or whatever the new Sword and Shield version of Yamask was, because I like that design a lot. Also, I had oh goodness, I think it was Arctozolt, the ice lightning type. But I really like the idea of, like, oh, you know, we have all these fossil bits, but we put them together wrong. So now it's like mix and match these poor, like, freaks of nature. And I think Arctozolt was my favorite, so I got an Arctozolt. Poor skinny little electric bird head sticking out of the frozen fish. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure I had Corviknight. Corviknight's really good. And I did, my starter in Sword and Shield was Sobble, so I got Inteleon. I like the James Bond chameleon. Ooh, Phalanx. Yeah, I like the Zolt line. I like this little face. It's so cute. It's so cute. I'm trying to remember what else I had in my line. Yeah, I had a Corviknight, because you gotta love Corviknight. Oh yeah, Raboot. Good grief, it's been a long time since I played Sword and Shield. I didn't do any of the DLC, so I didn't get any of the new stuff from that. I'm always behind on, like, all the Pokemon on Sword and Shield, like, or just DLC for anything. And people are like, oh yeah, this Pokemon. I'm like, what's that? I never saw that before. It's because it was DLC, you fool. And, man, yeah, I'm trying to remember what else was on my team. Do I have a bug type? Kung Fu Koala and Galarian Slowpoke. Well, I did get a Galarian Slowpoke, but you can get that pretty early in the game, I think. Actually, I have a Galarian Slowbro as one of my, well, I don't use it as much anymore, but I was using it on one of my PvP teams in Pokemon Go. Because it was, Psychic Poison type, actually pretty useful. Also pretty heavy hitter. A cool ghost horse that has no ankles. How does it run without ankles? I don't know, I feel like you'd need that. Does it float? Is it just floating ghost horse? Well, I feel like there were a ton of DLC ones for Scarlet Violet specifically that I just had no clue existed. Ah, morning chores. That was my day yesterday, was chores and laundry. A whole lot of that. Why is it that warm in October? I keep being like, okay, it's gonna rain here soon, and it gets like a little bit, but I'm like, it's October. It should be raining like a lot. Welcome back. Perfect music for this. Oh, I gotta get my vaccines. When are they gonna tell me about my vaccines? They usually email me and they're like, come get your vaccines. I need to get my COVID and flu boosters. Where are they? Usually they email me. I want my boosters. Hope they're still doing that. I mean, I think they would be. Oh, speaking of health, I need to stretch. Stretch break. Stretch break. Okay. Yes, I have drawn mechs. I'm not super good with them, but I'm like, okay. I've had to draw like vehicles and mechs and stuff like that for my job, so I've gotten used to it. Like I wouldn't say it's my strongest skill set. Like if you're coming to me for a mech design, you're probably better off elsewhere, but if you're like, can you draw this mech? I would be like, sure. Yes, I know about Carsour. I drew it. I'm pretty sure that gets passed around as like a little horror show thing nowadays. A meme. I don't know why people... I mean, I don't dislike drawing mechs. Like, I don't know who dislikes drawing them. Some people really like drawing mechs. Sometimes it just really hits the right part of your brain. I would say the one thing I don't really like drawing is... Oh, really? See no mechs anywhere? I don't know. Maybe that's a... I was about to say that maybe that's the thing with furry artists, but I'm like, no, there's plenty of furry artists who like, robots and mechanized things and stuff like that. So, I don't know. Whoops. Ad land. Yeah, I did change ads so that they don't show up right away. They're a half hour in. Oh, it's a good time for me because it's right when I'm doing my stretch break. Good time for me. Imagine getting ads. Exactly. You could be subscribed. Yeah, it does have a lot of detail. Depends on what you're doing. I know. Imagine being poor. Ugh, it's all good. Yeah, I did change up ads so you don't get them right off the bat. It's half hour in, so it's not immediately ads. But I prefer drawing mechs to like drawing like a real car or a real gun that exists in the world, because you can tell that that's wrong easier. Like, we're so used to seeing things like cars, vehicles, weapons, stuff like that, that like if they're off, it's kind of the same thing as like faces and hands. You can tell. So it's easier for me to just like trace from an actual object in that sense, because then I know I'm going to get the proportions right. Made fun of what? But like a mech is something that is a bit more fantastical. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I can hack that in terms of like it's okay if it's detailed, because even if it's not perfectly proportional, it's suitable enough. Okay. Alright, I will be right back for one more stretch and water and etc. turn. Turn. Gonna drive. But yeah, basically, like, especially for my job, I need to draw mech and robot stuff for the last show I was working on. Now, it was for little kids, so it was kind of like, you know, toddler proportion robots and mechs and stuff like that, but we still had to do it a lot. So in that sense, I'm like, okay, I probably am not going to, you know, do my best with like a really serious mech, like, you know, a Gundam or Armored Core or something like that. Like, that's probably going to take me a little while. But if you're like, oh, can you draw a mech? I'll be like, yeah, I can do that. Give me a reference. A lot of friends I know have birthdays in October. So does one of my brothers. A lot of October birthdays. Yeah, I have two close friends that have October birthdays, and my brother has an October birthday. Yeah, I've never been asked to draw Macross. But I can do like a little cartoony mech, little cartoon robots. That's fine. I don't know what was asked. Sorry. I did get up to do my stretch. Let them be born in the same month. Yeah, chibi mechs are cute. Yeah, Gundam's definitely popular. Probably always will be. That and Transformers, obviously. But I'd say Transformers kind of falls almost under more cartoony mech. Because, they look more like people. Just big robotic people with big, chunky, square arms. So get good at drawing squares. Drawing them big cubes. Depends on how many like pylons you're gonna put on all that and stuff. Yeah, probably things that are hardest for me to draw: real life cars, real life weapons. That is like, please just let me trace it then, because then I know I'll get it right. Have I watched a lot of mech anime? I don't think so. I mean, I watched Evangelion, obviously. That's kind of a benchmark, but... Or Escaflowne. I actually had a model Escaflowne for a while, and you could transform it between, like, regular form and dragon form. I don't know what happened to it. Did I get rid of it? Do I still have it? I had that thing forever. I think it got stuck at one point in one form or another because it's too hard to change it back. Do watch Escaflowne. It's a very interesting show, although I imagine some parts of it are pretty dated by now. It came out in the 90s or whatever. There are certain things about the villain, or one of the villains in Escaflowne, which, I don't know, might be a little interesting nowadays. Yeah, I won't spoil it, though. Again, there's just interesting things they did with one of the villains, which, I'm not sure how that would be taken nowadays if it came out nowadays. I don't know how it would be received. I feel like I've talked about this before. It was pretty influential when I was watching it way back in the day. Yeah, I don't remember when that reveal was about that particular villain. Well, walking along. No, they don't receive things like they used to, but I can understand why there would be kind of like hesitancy about this, considering how some things have changed from the 90s, for better and worse. Well, in this case, I think hopefully change for the better. Sorry if I'm being super vague. I can be less vague if people don't mind spoilers. But it is kind of a major spoiler for Escaflowne. I always like the opening of that a lot. It's a spoiler. That was one I watched with my college buds a lot. It had somebody, I don't remember who it was, had like the full set of it. There's also the movie, which does very different things with some of the characters. Love the soundtracks for that one, though. I just listen to them all the time. More TV time. I gotta check on Psycultural's playthrough of Deltarune to see if he got past the night this last time, because I think that's where he last left off, or was close to it. See if it took as many tries as it took me, which was a lot of tries. I hope I don't have to do that again, even though I'm sad that I missed the Chapter 3 Moss. I think I got everything in that chapter except the moss. A sad state of affairs. Look down. I said moss. Moss is in growing green. I did eventually beat the knight, but I did not find the Chapter 3 moss. The cycle of life. It was pretty well hidden. I honestly, like, even though I've seen people find them, like, wait, where is that again? And you have to, like, go there at a certain point because it just won't become available after a certain point. A lot of stuff on the boards is like, okay, go do this while Tenna's not looking kind of thing. He's always watching you. I'm always watching you, Wazowski. Always watching. So now I'm not a true moss lover. Get the digital moss. A cracked wall. What could be behind it? What could it mean? It means moss. It means moss. I've got to get the egg. I don't know how people found the egg on their own. I'm like, okay, no, literally, how did you find that? How did you figure out that egg? I never would have figured that out without help. Like, what a series of steps to go through. Okay, if I remember, yeah. Egg and moss is fiber and protein, true. Yeah, it's not a doubling back thing, but I'm like, okay, the series of steps needed to do this correctly, you have to, on the one hand, think, okay, I'm going to throw this, box over to this. Yeah. If I throw the box over to this part of the, the board and then leave it there. And then you have to know, okay, I'm going down to this chest over here. Make sure you're caught in the light. Make sure you give the correct information to the zapper on where you want to go. So you have to give the right answer there. And then once you're there, okay, you have to make sure the box is in the correct place so that you can then go over to another board and then know to talk to somebody else like 20 times before you actually get to the ticket, and then you have to leave again. And then once you have the ticket, you have to be like, okay, let's find a red X. Where's a red X? Oh, I will get into a fight with a Ribic and then move left from the X on the, is crazy. I don't even know if I would think to look at the Crocon X as the red X without it being pointed out to me. Yeah, I would never guess that on my own. Again, watching Psyculturalists play through it, and he's trying to follow instructions, and they're like, okay, where's a red X? And he gets into a fight with the Ribics, literally just blazes past the red X on Crocon X. Just absolutely, and then just goes through the fight without ever noticing it. That's crazy. And the thing is, X in of itself is not in of itself weird, because sometimes they'll do that just for different moves. If there's multiple people, it's like something X. Yeah, it doesn't appear until you get the ticket, so you would have to know to get back into a fight with the Ribic. It's just regular Crocon X without that. It's not red until you get the ticket. So what you're probably doing is thinking, okay, where have I seen a red X just in the field? And there's so much area you've covered already that you're just trying to think, did I just not notice something before? Is it's under a big W. That kind of thing. Was it under my nose the whole time and I couldn't see it? It's under a big W. Nobody's gonna get that joke. That's okay. I don't know. We'll see how convoluted it gets in next chapters. Apparently it's something involving harvesting wheat. Don't know what that'll mean. Maybe we'll find out. I hope we'll find out. It's so unintuitive. I really curious how people figured that out. That is true. I feel like the chapter 1 thing literally was just people stumbling on it and then mentioning, hey, this happened, and people trying to replicate it, kind of thing. Because if it being a 1 in 50 chance, you can just happen across it on your first go. I think that happened to me when I was trying to find the chapter 2 egg. The first time I did it, I literally, or maybe it was chapter 1 egg, I don't remember. In one of my playthroughs, I literally got it the first time. For first try. It was kind of wild. Yeah, the red X thing is just, oh, that's a really rough part. Maybe? But if that's the case, Chapter 3's egg is even harder to find than 1 or 2. 1 or 2, you can kind of stumble across them. What will all the eggs do? Hatch? Well, they're not too important, not too unimportant. We don't know what will happen when we have them all. Maybe we can finally paint them. Like Easter eggs. We don't even know if it causes a problem for Gaster. Like, people kind of assume it's a problem because, like, oh, finish the game without issue. But issue is not even, like, a really, like, negative term. It just means, like, something different. I hate eggs, man. I'm Sonic the Hedge, Sonic the Gaster Hog. Who can but then he should want them. They're free eggs. And we can't afford in this economy. And they're multiplying eggs. That's even more amazing. You can't get this from an egg. Pew, 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 pew. But you won't get through your teen years without at least one egg. What if Gaster is a bird? What if Gaster's a platypus? They lay eggs. Yeah, Pippies are a type of clam. They're not really eggs. People assume they're eggs because they're egg-shaped? Yeah, they're a mollusk or something. They are edible, I think. At least that's the impression I get. You could, like, make a soup out of them or something. I just think they don't know what they are because they look like eggs, even though they're not. What if the world was made of pudding? What if Blue and Dental are connected? Hooray! I don't remember what they said. It's just like... I mean, Noelle also talks about getting a weird blue egg at one point in one of her Cat Petters games. So that's different from the white egg that was the mystery, and then it left home due to happiness. Basically, there was the blue egg that Spamton gave her, and then that just multiplied and then crashed her game. And then there was the mysterious white egg that would not hatch, but then left due to happiness. Two different kinds of eggs. One of them seems like a Pippies. Peepees. I don't remember how to pronounce it. So one is a Spamton egg and one is Eggman egg. They're drugs. Then they're also a child? I don't know. Also Mrs. Pippies? What will they do if we find out? They're also dinner. That is true. Spamton is like, alright, we gotta eat our boys in blue. With the worst mouth noises possible. I don't know about drugs. He was kind of referring to that thing as his child. Oh no, Noelle, you shouldn't have discarded your Cat Petters cats. She was too afraid of it crashing her game. Oh yeah, she does have one of the caviar at some point. But isn't she like caviar again? Yeah, the caviar's in the TV dinner. Or the executive dinner. The knight's goal does not seem to be to make the roaring. It seems like the roaring is just going to be a thing that happens as a result of what the knight is doing anyway. Yeah, one of them changes per save file. Like, at one thing it mentions caviar, another thing it mentions, like, vegan steak, another one it mentions, like, I guess, ice cream or something. Although the one that mentions the vegan steak is like interesting because it's another bit of, I guess, instance that Noelle doesn't really seem to be aware of what blood is or what blood looks like. Getting into the whole blood discussion again. Like there's all these dummied out answers for, or flavor text for Noelle interacting with like food items from chapter 3 and 4. And then I think it's like one of the save file differences for like the exec dinner or whatever. Susie is like, oh, it's not real blood, talking about a vegan steak. But then she's like, oh, yeah, it's not real blood? Like, she seems confused about it. She does prefer vegetables because she's a deer. Like, there was a dummied out item called Giga Salad, which she likes and Susie does not like. Yeah, the Giga Salad. And she talked about being carnivorous, herbivorous, and one other thing, so it seems to hint that Susie is carnivorous and she's herbivorous. Which would make sense. I know, at the very least, I hope it gets cleared up. I hope it gets cleared up soon. In some way or another. I'm gonna get you all into a blood debate, watch out, meow. But it's definitely not super clear at this point, so I hope one way or another. Obligate carnivore. Obligate. Again, I don't think the purpose is to create the roaring. I think that's a thing that is going to happen no matter what for what the knight's already doing. Yeah, Susie will eat anything, but it seems like she needs meat, and she's not getting the meat she needs. She definitely prefers the dark burgers, whereas Noelle's like, oh wait, this is real meat? Ugh. Like, Noelle does not like eating meat. Seems like she definitely can do it, she just, it grosses her out. Which would make sense if she's herbivorous. Yeah, it would make up the majority of her diet. And that you need it in order to be healthy. I mean, she didn't need to practice, but she did need to know how to do it. It doesn't seem like something you can necessarily do by accident. There needs to be actual will and intent behind it. It's not like, oops, I dropped a knife and I made a dark fountain. For like, as much people joke about that. That doesn't actually seem to be how it works. And they're funny memes, but they're also just wrong. Like, that is actually not how it works. And whoever's making them is not making them willy-nilly. They're making them with intent. Again, this doesn't seem to be something easy. It's not something you do by accident. You have to have intent involved in it. Susie was given instructions on how to do it. She's like, okay, I have to concentrate on what I want and stab into the earth. How are you going to do that if you're a soul? How do you hold a sharp object? We seem to have difficulty holding things. You try really hard, telekinesis. Okay, you seem to have to know about Dark Worlds in order to do it in some capacity, because it's not also just like, oh, I have to, you know, I really want something. There has to be intent in terms of like creation involved. That's what I'm getting from it. You have to have some kind of narrative in mind, almost. I missed what that meant. No, none of these were accidentally made. That's what I'm saying. It seems like intent and a desire to create something is a requirement for making a fountain. Create a new world, as it were. Well, I think we'll likely see Noelle doing it in the future, because she's going to do this with intent. Oh. The very first Dark World? I don't know. I imagine that was something that involved, you know, writing something, or trying to chisel something or whatever, because in that sense you are stabbing, you know, a surface with the intent of creation. So I don't imagine it was like, oh, you know, we accidentally discovered Dark Worlds by mining. It was, oh, I discovered a Dark World's a thing by concentrating really hard on what I'm trying to write. Because what is making a dark world except, you know, you take a sharp object, stab it into a surface, dark ink comes out, and that creates a fiction. What is writing? You take, you know, a sharp surface like a pen, you stab it onto a surface, black ink comes forth, and you have created a fiction. It's writing. It's always been writing. It's always been fiction. Where's Dank World with all the memes? Oh, probably on Reddit. I don't know. There's always some meme I'm not aware of every other week. Well, I gotta stop soon and take a little break for a stretch. In just a bit. Let me finish this. I mean, maybe. It's kind of weird as we've gotten the new chapters, it feels like Gaster has had less of an active presence in the worlds rather than more. He seems to be really in an observer state. Get scratching. Alright, we'll just finish off this bit. Then I'll do my stretch break. Oh yeah, I'm sure he's involved in some way. I'm sure he's involved in some form. He is not not involved. I'll say that much. He definitely has a part to play. I just it seems like it is a less active part than I would have originally thought. Because I thought he was like interacting directly with like Darkners and stuff like that. And now it doesn't seem like that's the case as much. And for us, thought he was the man behind the tree, too, and that seems to be somebody else instead. Sorry, it is time to stretch. Stretch. Nom nom groceries. I don't think Papyrus is the man behind the tree. I don't think it is. He doesn't really talk like Papyrus. I know folks are eager to see Papyrus, but I don't think Papyrus is the knight. I don't think Papyrus is the Eggman. There's something else going on there. Mystery Man might have been the man this whole time. As in, Mystery Man from Undertale was the Eggman. He does got an egg head. In that case, what does Gaster look like? The one issue I have with that is that it does seem like Mystery Man is associated with Gaster in some way, just because of Gaster is associated with the number 6 a lot. Like that's assigned to him. Like, you know, those were his stats. You know, version 6.6.6 was Deltarune's initial version, that for a survey program. There are 6s all over associations with Gaster, but the Mystery Man is also associated with Gaster because he only appears in fun value 66 with a 1 in 10 chance of appearing in the room in the hall, which would, you know, make it, you know, 6 out of 10 or whatever. He transitioned from Mystery Man to Eggman. There were only 2 genders, Mystery and Egg. He was tired of being Mystery, so he became Egg instead. Now I hand out mysterious eggs. Wait! Oh no! Call that cracking an egg. Wah, 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 wah. Exactly. Can't make a game without breaking some eggs. Not like that, though. But maybe like that. Maybe both ways like that. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with Eggman. Cuckoo, cachoo. I know. Yeah, I'm sorry. The people have really taken copies or monochrome into insane territory. I don't know. I don't think that applies to all of Undertale. Yeah. Alright, I will be right back for one more stretch and orange juice and stuff. I return. Oh wait, what did I miss? Like what is Toby's defining creative philosophy? And yes, I did see the tennis jumps thing. That was cute. It was funny. Oh yeah, the copies are monochrome thing. No, it's like no, that's a. It's not. I don't think it's quite as important. Let's see. Speaking of copies, let's copy this layer. I've also seen this applied to, like, you know, copies are monochrome. Anything black and white is a copy, and I'm like, no, guys, I don't think that's what it means at all. And it's also taking the thing way out of context. It's like, the full thing is copies are monochrome, but you colored us in with care. In order to cheat at cards. Stream was a fun celebration. Yeah, everything is monochrome in the copy. Yeah, it's like, no, I don't think that's what it means. It's literally the new home. I always thought the new home being black and white was kind of like a mood thing. That, you know, the tutorial's home is kind of, you know, these, you know, gold colors so it feels warm and inviting. Whereas new home with no color feels like anything warm and inviting has been, like, washed out of it. Yeah. New home was monochrome up in the ruins. Yeah, sure. Okay, what now? Yeah. Yeah, it does kind of fit it unintentionally. And then that does say that one of the NPCs in the anniversary was trying to color the city in with care. They were trying to paint it. They were like, I gotta paint the city. Oh, wait, we don't have time to do that. Okay. We're gonna do a little zoom in here. I'm also just not sure, like, what would the theming be for that? Gaster's hand. How does that work? No, it's ugly. No. They're doing like a southwestern kind of color for it. The ping pong. This has fingers. Yeah. Like, how did that happen? The 7 flying aces. Also, were they rescued and brought to Castletown? Because they kind of suggest, oh, we were lost in the couch. Are they buried in the couch forever? I mean, I would like to see, I would like to see Gaster at least once. I really do want to see him. It's been like, 10 years. Let us at least see him. I do not think we need to fight him. I don't think he needs to be like a villain we need to defeat or anything like that. That's a little silly. I at least want to see him. Let's at least see what he looks like. That's all I want. Even if it's just then Chris sees him and he disappears. Okay, whatever. I just want to know, okay, that's him. We have an idea of what the man looks like. He gets to stay mysterious. Yeah. Again, we don't need to fight him. Oh, I'm sure that'll happen. I'm sure if that happens, that is exactly what would happen, is that we'll see if people insist. Oh, Milk Freak. We were told the entire time, most important NPC. We didn't listen. Should have listened about Milk Freak. Your whole family is freaky. Not like me, Milk Freak. Because I don't have an Eldritch version of Milk Freak. I need to draw him. Should I have Milk Freak get eaten by somebody? I gotta design Milk Freak. Totally not him. Yeah. I'm sure that even if we do get a Gaster reveal, there'll be a subset of people that are like, that's not actually Gaster and will never get solved. Milk Freak is turned into a cow. Why would a non-Eldritch cow eat him? Why would just a regular cow get him? I've seen people will give him the voice of G-Man from Half-Life. Very hungry cow. Susie's impressed. Revenge. Should have messed with that cow Milk Freak. Gaster Man does whatever a Gaster can. Cave Johnson Gaster. I don't think Gaster is actually supposed to be a villain. That is how I painted him in Paper Trail, but with the information we have now, I don't think that he is a villain. I think he is definitely in the corner of, yay player, go player, you're a cool player. He's on player's side for better or worse. Yeah, Unexpected Guess is good though. But also Unexpected Guess is like an Undertale AU, not a Deltarune one. So I wouldn't put that in the same category. He's only interested in his projects. He's just like me, for real, for real. I don't know, when fighting the knight, he seems to be like, oh, player, wow, that's cool. He seems really impressed if you, get through things without, catching any trophies, which takes work. He says he wants to create a new future. He says that Chris, Susie, and Noelle are all very wonderful. He seems to have an attachment to the universe. At least that is the impression I get. He is very attached to this universe. He is very attached to certain characters. And I actually really like the... and this is probably device theory stuff. I really like the idea that if Flowey is you know, a commentary on the player, playing over and over again, and, you know, kind of losing touch with the characters they loved as a result of, you know, just over familiarity and completionism, then Gaster is a reflection of the player in loving a series and characters so much that he was like, I don't like this ending for them, I'm going to write a new ending for them. And you're going to do it for me, player. I'm going to get you as attached as I am. Well, here's a question. Do human souls in Deltarune have soul traits? Yeah, 10th anniversary did make things very interesting. To stray away from what mentality? Sorry, I'm confused. Why would it be lame? I mean, we don't. A lot of that is our own interpretations. We're still not entirely sure how all the human characters asked. Why, hello there. I don't really think that was what Toby was trying to get across in the anniversary thing, honestly. I don't think that was what was being said. Okay. I'm going to get rid of some of that so we can pull that out. Hello, hello. I kind of feel like Toby said what the point of a lot of the anniversary stuff was there at the end. He's like, this world is as big as you imagined it to be. Like, basically, you are not constrained by me or anyone else. All of these extra things were already there. You just have to go looking for them. I mean, maybe, but I do think, again, the point was, hey, you can make this world as big as you want it to. Which is also why I don't really like certain Deltarune theories, like you know, oh, it's all a time loop, oh, it's all a simulation. Because those feel like theories where it's like, oh, this world is actually as small as it looks. Smaller than it even looks. There is no time outside of this. There is no world outside of what you see. And your imagination is not going to carry you any further than what you see. And I kind of feel like the anniversary stream did help put a kibosh on that a bit. Just like, hey, you know, just because you're not seeing everything in this does not mean that it's not there. Again, you can make this as big as you want. Whatever you need to do to care about these characters, because that's the important part. Yep, this is of course a banger track. Still makes me cry. Yeah, I just don't like them. It's like, we understand that, you know, we are playing a video game. I think that's been very clear since the beginning. And I like the idea of the player is diegetic to the world. That we're basically been pulled into a world that is real, even though to us, yes, it is a video game. Yeah, it just does not feel right to me for Deltarune. Because I feel like if this was a situation of like, oh, you know, this is a time loop, or oh, this is a simulation, then the story then has to be about, well, we have to escape the time loop, or we have to escape the simulation. And we already have a story going on. It's we have to, you know, try and defy the prophecy. I mean, I think the whole idea is that anybody can create a fountain is because anybody can create fiction. It's about your imagination. And tapping into a desire to make things. As long as you have intent behind it. Noelle's freaking out because she's holding hands. Finale. My favorite track. I do like Finale. I think Core is my favorite though. Maybe I should just put these guys all on the same layer. It's getting a little complicated having them on different layers when they're holding hands. They should all be on that same layer. The same hand holding layer. You are now on one layer. Excuse me. We're gonna hold hands into the festival. Yeah. Don't know. Honestly, I am going against half-human Alvin because I don't think Alvin exists in Undertale. Like, we have mentions of Susie in Undertale with suspiciously different name spelling. But there's literally no mention of Alvin in Undertale. And I think that's because, like, mentioning, oh, you know, Garrison had a thing for a human magician, that Alvin just does not exist in Undertale, and this is why. Because circumstances were different, this is a different universe, and Garrison just never married another monster, never had kids with another monster, so that's why we don't have Alvin. I mean, it could, but I've always found it a little suspicious that, like, you know, okay, why is the spelling different just with Susie? It could very well be a it's up to you thing. That's true. It could be that. Alright, we're going to put these on the same layer. For me personally, I'd just like to think, okay, these are two different universes, so because of some circumstances that are different between the universes, some people are a little different. Their families are a little different. They met different people. I mean, ran out of letters. There's lots of letters. Yeah, if you want my theories on people being half human, it's that. Whoop. Yeah. Yeah, Magic Berry, exactly. And my thoughts are that, okay, Garrison was in love with a human that he got separated from when the barrier happened. So he never had kids with anybody else, which is why we don't have Alvin. Whereas in Deltarune, he did end up with, I'm guessing, Mrs. Boom, the turtle that we see in the church, had kids with her, which is why Alvin exists there. And then in reverse, if Susie is half human in Deltarune, but she probably could not be in Undertale because, you know, they would have been underground, completely cut off from humanity. So she just has two monster parents, which might be why we did not see her even in the 10th anniversary stream, even though she has been mentioned as existing, because maybe she looks a little different. And if we saw those differences, it would be like, oh, that's a major tip-off. Yep. No, I think Alvin's interesting on his own. I don't like people hating on Alvin. Bangin' sermon, my man. I'm really curious what's happened to him. I feel like he should be around in Chapter 4, and I kind of get the feeling that he got kidnapped same way Undyne did in order to prevent any codes from getting shared. Because I feel like he should have been around at some point after church with the Dark World, and he was not there. Even if the church was not his house, he'd probably still be around, like, picking that stuff up and whatever after service. Like, that's just kind of what you do when that's also your job. Yeah, if he has to lock up after choir or any of that kind of stuff. Like, even if that's not where he lives, he'd probably still be spending time there long after people are gone. It was his house. Oh, gross. Get out of here, AI. You're not wanted. I don't know. I get the feeling that something bad might have happened to Alvin off screen while we were not seeing it. It's just a funny feeling I have. Oh, sorry. If you subscribe, there will be no ads. We'll be free of them. And in the bunker with Undyne playing Go Fish. Wait, that's her. I don't know. I don't care because I don't like ChatGPT and I don't use it. It'd probably just be like an annoying parrot that just repeats stuff back to you. Subscribe in this economy? I know. It's sometimes you don't have the money. So that's okay. Well, in that case, that is what the ads are for. Yeah, at least parrots have a consciousness. Yeah, I have no bearing on reality. Becomes some kind of freaky thing that repeats your stuff back to you, except it just gets, like, progressively more mixed up every time it does it. It's becoming a goner! I do like parrots, even though parrots are very hard to take care of. They are big ol' chattery babies. If you do own a parrot, watch out because they are like lifelong commitments. They are very needy birds. And everyone will invariably lose their minds. True. No, yeah. Parrots require a lot of attention. At the very least, lizards are fine on their own. Noelle's having a good time, though. Fish are also nice. I don't want a yes man to hallucinate information. What use do I have for that? Yuck. Boring, boring, yucky. Oh, I'm sorry your fish died. I used to have fish too when I was younger. And we had hermit crabs. I like the hermit crabs, but I don't think we were properly taking care of them, but we were little kids. Nobody told us how to do it. Dark fountains are much better at giving computers life than lighteners are. Woof. Queen reads them for filth. And get the thing wrapped around like that. Need more wacky roommates to give to Queen. I will say one thing I'm interested in seeing in the next chapter is how are they going to integrate the chapter 4 Darkners into Castletown? Because a lot of them are very like ethereal and weird. You know, most of our NPCs so far have been like kind of wacky. Where chapter 4 ones are like, you know, incense monster and ghost and, you know, pipe organs. They steal the entire church. Yeah. She was not appropriate for the weird route. It was too creepy for her. Yeah, I guess so. Second sanctuary ones were very weird. That was Susie's Dark World. And I'll start hanging around Susie's room. Ooh, Mizzle. Well, what would be the point of recruiting them? I want to see them in Castletown. I want to see them. I want to see how they interact with people. Yeah, she wants to see Noelle again. The fire extinguisher is the most important one. I'm telling you, the church code is on the fire extinguisher as well. The 2202, that's going to come back, and people are going to forget about it. It turns out they do know each other. They knew each other because Chris brought home the laptop and deck of cards and like played with them in front of the TV. I don't think that's weird. That made total sense to me. That's the kind of stuff I would do when I was a kid with my brother. We would just like combine all of our disparate toys together and like do these giant elaborate stories with them. Like stuff that didn't go together at all and didn't make sense, but we would just play with that stuff. You know, however way we wanted. And we would come up with these big elaborate, like, you know, war stories and stuff with them. So seeing that, like, that was how Chris and, you know, Asriel and Noelle played with their stuff, I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense to me. That's what I did when I was a kid. Like, do you all not remember your childhoods? Did you all play with toys regular? Was it just me? I don't know how that happened. Good grief. Why were you trying to put a spam email on TV, Tenna? Competing with Asgore for most divorced man. No, they're not toys, but when you are a little kid and you are using your imagination, you can make anything into anything you want. Yeah, maybe Spamton's car commercials were originally on TV, the Kungadero. That's kind of how they knew each other. Need a strange someone, yeah. There were theories about that, yeah. It might depend on where, like, the shadow crystals come from. If they do come from the night or not. It seems like they do, but we're not sure. Yeah, in Paper Trail, I had King know the night because we didn't. It was after chapter 1. We didn't have reason to suspect otherwise. That in fact seemed to be the case. Okay. Maybe I should do a larger one, and then we'll move down from there. A larger version. Yeah. It's a little weird. Also, when am I supposed to take my break? I think I'm supposed to take it now, actually. Break time. We're almost done with all these. That's crazy. When they're holding hands. No, Toby did not retcon himself. We were just working off of the information that we had. Just because information was not mentioned does not mean that, you know, it was changed to be something else. Susie, ear truther. I might have already seen that on Reddit, honestly. Again, against my better judgment, I do poke at Reddit occasionally. Even though it deals me psychic damage every time. Is it a mistake? Is it stupid? I mean, it does kind of make sense that King would latch on to somebody that's like, hey, I'm going to give you what you want, because he already feels embittered about being abandoned. Now we know, yeah, they were abandoned. Oh, okay. I think I've seen something going on around that. Maybe somebody else posted it. I don't know. It was a little while ago. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I'll be totally honest. I don't think it's that big of a deal that King made assumptions based off what he heard. Again, the guy seemed very eager to latch on to whatever justified his anger that was already simmering in him. So, like, he's been given this power, and it's like, hey, you know, you can use this to enact the anger that you already have. Like, of course he's gonna do that. Like, why would he even then need to meet the knight for that? He's like, he has a justification. And he's been given, you know, a new ability to enact that. Knight was like, you know. Yeah, it is interesting that she's dressed like Frankenstein's monster. Chris is dressed like Eram a little bit. Like they kind of have a vampire look, you know. They've got the bird cage, but though it has candy in it, not the soul. But they've kind of got Eram's orange and black cloak on, which is interesting. And then Rouse dressed as like a cake. The Susie Jackenstein parallels are insane. Well, you're gonna really like this animatic then, because that's kind of the conclusion drawn. This is a Suselle animatic, but it's also drawing parallels between Susie and Jackenstein. ERAM armor they drew. I'll have to check that out later. Because, yeah, there are kind of some interesting parallels between Susie and Jackenstein. You can see why she Same conclusion independently. Like you can see why Susie like really attached to him, and she's like, okay, you know, this guy's not so bad. Let's be nice to him. All right, I'll be right back for one more stretch and stuff like that, and water. Please don't say too much while I'm gone. Alrighty, I have returned. I don't know if Susie is Lancer, but I would say they definitely get along. They're good friends. I like Susie and Lancer's friendship a lot. I like seeing them be cuties together. Speaking of cuties, let's get back to these lesbian cuties. Susie's like, holy crap, I'm on a date with the hottest girl in school. And she's smart. Susie deserves to be happy with her cute girlfriend. Gotta do something a little cuter for anniversary this year. Yeah, that's true. I'm not sure what Lancer's long-term story is going to be. I'm a little worried that he's going to kind of fall by the wayside a little bit. That, like, at least in terms of Lancer, Rouse is kind of correct. He's like, oh, well, he's not real, you know. Make a real friend kind of thing. But it's like he was her first friend. Yeah. Yeah, he does kind of feel like her little brother. That's 7. Three more years and he'll be 10 years old. Ah! Ah! Don't tell me that. Why did I tell myself that? Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I do think we're gonna get a moment where something is gonna cause Susie to quote, I don't want to say revert, but, you know, basically fall back into her old habits. She's only just now starting to get out of, you know, oh, you know, I can let people in. I can, you know, trust people and stuff like that. I can make friends. People like me. They want having me around. Something's going to happen where she's going to get really hurt, and it's probably going to be something about finding out Chris is working with the Knight, or maybe it's something else with you know, her own past or whatever coming to the surface. Basically, something's going to come out, and she is, yeah, of course he's going to finish the game. Something's going to come out where she is going to basically get really hurt, and she is going to retreat back into her old ways of doing things, which is like, stay the hell away from me. I'm scary and I'm bad. I don't want to be friends with anybody. I'm just going to hurt you or you're going to hurt me. It's not worth it. Rah, rah, you know, everybody sucks. And people are going to get mad at her for it. And they're going to be like, ew, why is this character regression, blah, blah, blah. That's so bad of her. And I'm going to be like, you fools. You fools. I will stand by Susie. I will stand by you, Susie. Of all three heroes. I mean, people are already doing it with Chris. They're like, oh, I hate Chris because Chris beat us up. I hate Chris because they're working with the Knight. You fools. They'll get, well, probably both. They'll get mad at both. But they'll probably get mad at Susie most because fandom is also not very nice towards female characters. They flush us down the toilet like a bath bomb. I'm sorry, fandom is really predictable. I've been in fandom for a long time. Fandom is very predictable. No, that's exactly it. Because they love Susie so much, they've put her up on a pedestal, and as soon as she does something that, you know, breaks that love, it's gonna all come tumbling down. People are gonna get mad about it. Because people can't handle characters being characters. Yeah, I love Susie to death. I love Susie to death. I'm going to stand by her. They can't stop me. But I guarantee you a lot of the fandom is not going to be able to keep up with it. A lot of the fandom is going to be too upset. And they're going to blame Susie for it. She shouldn't be acting this way. She should know better. That's what's going to happen. Even though her reaction would be perfectly understandable. Can't condone a problematic character. Exactly. Oh, I'm sure she'll bounce back as well. Like, I know she's going to bounce back. But, you know, if we have to wait a chapter in between that, in between her bouncing back, oh, that's going to be really rough. Exactly, they're compelling. You know which characters I don't care about? The ones that are boring. And crash out Susie. I mean, if Susie is half human, I think people are going to be really upset about that too. Still an if. Still an if. I ain't going to say anything for sure because that's a good way to get yourself disappointed, is to be like, yep, it's definitely going to go this way, and then it doesn't. Don't let yourself get disappointed. Exactly. That also happens in real life. Not like development is not linear. Yeah, I want her to get the soul as well. I do want her to get the soul. I think that'd just be kick-ass as hell. Just from like both story and character perspective. I want it just because it's kick-ass. Not me. I'm gonna love her. I still love Chris, even though they beat us with a hockey stick. I'm like, it's okay, kid. Let's get you some chalky milk. Stop hating yourself, child. Stop hating yourself. Hello, hello. Mind control. Yeah, I get, that's where I differ from the fandom, is like, people love Spamton. I'm like, okay, he's fine, but he kind of creeps me out. Yeah, Queen was really funny. I like Queen. I'll admit, I'm sorry, I don't get the Spamton love as much. I always found him to be a weird little gremlin guy. Maybe that's my problem. Like, I love me a weird little guy. And his point is that he's a creep. I just don't find him to be an endearing creep. Oh, they can mind control people with the blood. Your human mind control powers. That's true. Some people just want a sopping wet creep they can, you know, throw against a wall. I ain't gonna begrudge anybody that. I'm not gonna be like, that's weird that you like Spamton. Like, it's not weird. I'm not shocked he has a lot of love. I just don't share that. That's true. I do like Spamton. I like Wayne as Spamton the most. He is weird and funny to me in a way that's really entertaining to watch. I like that. Spamton be Spamton. We never got him back. No Queen plushie. What do you mean remove Spamton? Wait, I'm not really Spamton. He was so weird in the anniversary stream too. Turns out it's real. Yeah, why didn't Queen get a plushie? She should get a plushie where she gets to like do when you like squeeze her or whatever. I need to get the new pin sets to add to my pin board. That is true. Queen does get a sleep mask, which is extremely cute. Queen needs to be studied in a lab. I don't know. It seems like Wayne enjoyed playing Spamton, so maybe we'll see Wayne show up again with more Spamton in the future. As long as people can milk that. I don't know. Right, now we'll just scooch on down. Ugh. Difficult part is trying to get this spot right. Yeah, Wayne Spamton somehow he just kind of walks that line perfectly of like, he's a really weird little guy, but he's not like, ew, creep. Yeah, he's just a loser. I like the Spamton sweepstakes thing. And I like it, that was really fun to me to watch. Just it hit the right notes of like creepy and weird for me, in a way that like actual Spamton doesn't. I don't know how else to explain it. Maybe that's his problem, is that he's in the wrong medium. Spamton is and works best when he's like a video or something like that. When he's in like weird analog horror video. So that's why Wayne works so well as Spamton. That's my best guess. Yeah, people do tend to exclude the creep factor Spamton, because he is kind of a creep. He's kind of a weirdo. Sometimes people include it. That's true. Maybe it is a layer of detachment. That could be it. I don't know. Again, I ain't hating on anybody who dislikes who likes Spamton. I absolutely understand why people like Spamton. It makes sense logically to me. And truthfully, in fiction, we do need more weird little freaks. Like, I'm glad he exists as a weird little freak, because we just need more of those, and those are good for the in-fiction environment. I just don't like him that much myself. Like, he's fine. I just don't like him, like, a lot. He's a bad, weird little freak. It's not weird to like a weird little freak. True. Yeah, where's Jebel? He's a weird little freak too, and he's barely getting any screen time. Okay. And off they go on their festival dream. Holding hands into the festival. Oh, it is ad time, isn't it? Good grief, we're almost done. So, since this is the last bit of clean lines to do for the animatic, do you guys want me to then going into fills for this, which I do a little bit differently for Storyboard Pro, or would you rather I can also open up a file for backgrounds I'm working on for an Eldritch Rune part? So let me know what you want me to work on, because this is almost done. A murder type of freak. True. Although I guess since it's ads, I'm just asking the subscribers right now. Maybe I should ask again when people are back. But we are nearly complete. 3 times in a row. Backgrounds? Happy to be here. I'm happy you're here too. They're about the same level as easy and hard. He's a creep. He's a weirdo. His freedom cage. But yeah, basically to reiterate for anybody at ads, I'm almost done doing the clean lines for the animatic here. Do you want me to go ahead and start doing fills, which I'll do a different way for Storyboard Pro, or would you rather I start working on some backgrounds for a different Eldritch Rune part? I can do either or. They're the same level of difficulty. Eldritch Rune backgrounds people want? Sure. Some people say Eldritch, some people say fills. I need to add like a poll. I need to figure out how to do that on Twitch. Should not be hard, but I don't really have really done it before. How do I polls? How do I do it? How do poll? Can I do poll? Let's see. Cheer. Mod view, chat settings. I've never done these before. How is that doable? Mod view? Cool. I don't want to watch the tutorial. E for Eldritch, F for fills. Mostly, how do I do a poll? Modes? No. Pause. I'm trying to figure out how I do a poll on here. Whispers. Nope. Predictions. I have not usually used this much. I'm mostly using the other stream view. Goodness gracious. Okay, I'm kind of just sitting here trying to figure out what I'm doing. That's kind of sad, ain't it? I should probably investigate that a little more. No, I would like to do a poll. Type poll in chat. Let's see. Aha. Let's see. Characters you want? I don't know. I think that's up to you to decide. Let's see. Yeah. How do I do poll? Open a set menu to create a poll. Cool. Boop, boop, boop. Backgrounds. Alright, let's do a poll. We'll run that for 3 minutes. Start poll. Ta-da! Guess what? It's poll time. Yeah, I'm not sure why people are... I've seen people be mad about that. I don't know. I guess there's advanced streaming technology. I guess there are some things. It's true that maybe I shouldn't be too harsh on that because, like I was just talking about, there are some theories where I'm like, I would be upset if that happened. And sometimes there's not really a rational reason for that. It's just like, I don't personally like that. So it would be kind of hypocritical for me to be like, this person can't like that thing that I like. I guess it's also a thing of like, if that didn't happen, then like if like, you know, Susie was not half human and it was just, you know, it was just a crazy crack theory, then I would be like, okay, you know, I'm not mad about it not happening. I was just wrong. You know, like it would not impair my enjoyment of the story any if that didn't happen. I would just be like, yep, I was wrong, onward I go. But I don't know why people would be mad about it if it did happen. Either way, I'm gonna have fun, and I'm kind of anticipating that I am wrong, just because again, it is better to, you know, set your expectations realistically. Don't want to, you know, make yourself upset for no reason. Yeah, it is just a fan theory for now. But I don't want to get too much like, you can't dislike that. Because again, there are some fan theories I do not like. I just don't like them. And that would be hypocritical of me to be like, well, you have to like my theory. Like, that would be stupid. You want those assholes to feel miserable. Oh. Oh yeah, that's dumb. I don't like theory. Basically, if you want to talk about theories, I don't like theories, one, that are just like, this will only work if the character is being put wildly out of character or out of tone with the rest of the series, and that's why I don't like Chris Slash theory, because that's not in character. Yes, done for the shock value. It's not in line with what we've established as the characters. Like, I don't like theories like that. And I don't like theories that steer Deltarune in the direction of a nihilistic take. Which is, again, why I don't really like, you know, time loops. I don't really like the idea of it's a simulation. I don't like, you know, a rock's fault, everyone dies kind of thing. I don't like that. Yeah, that's kind of stuff I don't like either. Yeah, I don't like the Chris Slash theory. I think that's wildly out of character. Yeah, Deltarune is a hope story. Yeah, it's not a setup for Undertale. I don't like it's secretly a prequel, secretly a sequel, whatever. Yeah, so those are the two things I don't like. Those are the things that get my goat. Things that are out of character and things that push the story towards a nihilistic take. The hopeless theory. Oh, I'm sure that'll exist soon if it doesn't already. Alright, did the poll finish? How do I see the poll results? Animatic one? Okay. Good to know. I should be able to see the poll results, though. Shouldn't that be on my mod thing somewhere? Huh. Yeah, I'm in mod view. I'm in the mod view, and I didn't see it. But I will trust you that that was correct and it was Phil's. I trust you. I wanted to see how many people voted, too. 71%. Okay, that's pretty decisive victory. That's fine. Oh, why did I... Oh yeah, this is a zoom in. How can we abuse this power? No, please. That's okay. I'm sure there will for sure be Eldritch Rune work in the future. It is inevitable. Even if next time I'll probably be working on like a nice little color thumbnail for this animatic. I'm sure there'll be more Eldritch Rune in the future. Plenty of it left to do. And yeah, the one thing I don't like, or I don't get, is people don't like is they're like, oh, it won't be a compelling story if Susie was half human. I'm like, really? I don't know. I feel like that would be, one, it would be really compelling, and two, it would be kind of important for Chris. I want Chris to get past their own self-hatred. They need to do that. It's kind of important for them, actually. They are stuck in this like cycle of self-destruction. Somebody needs to get them out of it. And part of that self-destruction is their self-hatred. And part of that self-hatred is because they are human. And they feel like that is like bad for them. And they need to get past that. Okay. I do just want to see Susie with a soul at some point, because it would be extremely cool. Alright, guess what? It's time for fills. It could be a possible thing in the normal route. Although, honestly, what I see happening in the normal route is fighting Ralse, actually. I feel like that's going to be happening towards the end. This is the power of Automat! Check it out! Automat power! Pew! Immediately. Pew! Get ready for a lot of clickety-clack from hotkeys. Because that's what doing fills is here. Pew! Pew! Automat! Really fighting Ralse? Because another one of my theories is that... Oh, I didn't do the full thing on that. Is that Ralse has Chris's actual soul. And they're going to have to get that back at some point. And he's not going to be willing to give it up at that point, because he will have grown into his own person enough. And it will be really tragic. Oh, that's a problem. It's beyond comprehension. Oh, that's not correct. Come on. There we go. That's the power of Automat. Elaborate about the Ralse as Chris's soul theory. Good grief, I came up with that like all the way back in pre-chapters 3 and 4. Yeah, that's what the comic meant for it. Like back in chapter 2. Just for a couple of different reasons, it feels like that's where Chris's soul ended up. Although honestly, because of some parallels between Chris and the Knight, I wouldn't be surprised if there's even a more complicated issue where it got split, you know, in a couple different places, and some of it's with the Knight, some of it's with Ralse. And okay, defeating the Knight, yeah, that's a given. We can do that. But getting it from Ralse, oh no, that's a whole nother issue. No, chapters 3 and 4 did not confirm it. It just didn't also deconfirm it. It was not debunked. It just seems like, this is still a possibility. Susie doing the absolute cinema. Where's this? Of course, we gotta unfill some of these spots because some of it fills up too much. But yeah, in some capacity, Chris's soul is with Rouse, which is especially why Rouse, you know, one, knows that there's a player controlling Chris and is super aware of how that's going on, knows a lot of what's going on in the light world, how he's able to exist in any light world without issue. You had to redraw an old comic or old panel you really like, which one would you redo? Good question. I'm not sure. I don't usually like redrawing stuff I've done previously. But I'm not sure what I would do. Maybe just that one panel from Dogs of Future Past where, you know, they're all after Frisk and everybody gets back and they're all kind of in a jumbled mess in the backyard. The funny one. That might be fun to redo. It is Copy Paste City. Actually, I should probably a little bit out of that. I think the main way that we get the idea that Chris's soul is somewhere else, is not with them, is just that I think chapters 3 and 4 made it very, very clear that the soul, you know, belongs to the player. Is the player. Okay, remember that it's gonna be a pretty cruddy Zeta Gundam if that's the case, because again, there's supposed to be like 30-second drawings. My poor old clackety-clack keyboard is struggling. I gotta stop soon and do a stretch. Well, it's like, what if we kissed and we were both girls? OCs are allowed. Yes, I would just need a reference. Basically, OCs are allowed. The only things I'm probably going to say no to is anything that's too risque or not safe for work, because this is intended to be shared with everybody. Nothing explicit, please. If you want that, you'll probably have to wait for commissions to open again, and sadly, I don't know when that will be, because I have work until like next summer. Wait, no, not that, please. We need this. Oh, I like this take on this song. Okay, we're almost done with this shot, and then I'll take a break to stretch. Okay, this is correct, right? Yeah. Just making sure everything's filled in as much as possible. Yeah, that would be a little awkward. A little bit awkward. Priest goofball. Okay. Let's stretch break, and then we'll do one more. I love you, Automat. You make my life so much easier. And you have to go through, like, you know, 10 bajillion panels and storyboards. It is so much faster. You just click, click, and it's filled. I can't really do that as well on Photoshop. I don't really like Photoshop's autofill tools. I want it a little cleaner than you would on a storyboard. Well, you can redeem those things at any time. I actually do have the doodle page open for requests right now. How much how much points do you have? Yeah, if you want to share a reference, just link me to an image of them that I can access. You can do it over the Discord server, or you can try and do it here in chat, although obviously there's a chance it'll get lost if you do it over chat here. A DM over Discord also works. Server's okay. I just gotta go hunting for it. Just gotta go hunting. Okay. Do one more half hour doing fills. Good grief, this means that we're very close to finishing the animatic. And plenty of time before Halloween, because I want to post this on Halloween. I don't know, it's up to you. Both because I want to do it as like an anniversary thing, and also because, with Jackenstein there, I think it would fit for Halloween. And it might be a little nice, because most of the times I've done, like, comics that I posted on the anniversary have been, like, kind of heavier or scarier ones, or, like, stuff to do with, deep lore, and so, or theories, and I think this would be just, like, a cute one. Cute, sweet moment. No, the doodle does not have to be Deltarune related. It can be anything you want. I just need a reference if it's something I'm not super familiar with. And obviously, please do something that is safe for work. I mean, you can do a review of whatever you want. But yeah, doodle can be anything. Just know that it's gonna be a very quick doodle. Take me like under a minute. So if it's more complicated, the complication is gonna get watered down a little bit. And no underdrawings, I'm just drawing it freehand. Alright, that's fine. Again, there's stuff on the doodle page. I'll be right back for one more stretch and stuff, and I can show you the doodle page and such. What? The outfit ain't gonna come out. I return. If you posted up a request thing, I missed it because I was doing my stretches. Please do it while I'm visible. All right. Either way, We got one more half hour to work on. Fills, clickety clack. Oh, there's a little bit there. Honestly, mostly this involves just erasing the parts where it gets overfilled. How channel points work? Basically, channel points are if you watch or comment and stuff, you get channel points. And then, if you want to redeem those for something, you redeem them. And the thing you would redeem them in this case, undo. I suddenly forgot what edit undo was. I'm fine with either one. Either one's fine. Yeah, hair on my tablet. Alrighties. Why is there hair on my tablet? Too much hair. It's diagonal, Susie. I know. They're all diagonal. Watch out. I don't know. Diagonal Susie not as funny as Diagonal Chris. Diagonal Chris is just inherently funny somehow. Diagonal Noel, Birdley, Ralsei? Let's see all of them. They should all be diagonal. Yeah, Diagonal Ralsei exists. That's not uncommon. No, I like Diagonal Chris. I understand why they did Diagonal Chris. I understand because if they did, like, Chris either facing to the side or the front, it would look weird in comparison to what was happening, like, at that moment. It makes sense, like, from the perspective of a camera. I'm like, no, you have to put them in 3/4. It's gonna look like awkward if they're front facing or side facing. It's like good grief. It's like the opposite of what I have to do for work. They're like, do 3/4 whenever possible. It looks bad from the side. It looks bad from the front. 3/4, 3/4. Characters in animation are designed to look good only from the 3/4 angle. I thought the sprite was okay. So why do you need turnaround riffs? Well, you do need that in animation. I actually don't know if it's as much of a problem with sprites in a game. It's okay. Minority opinions are fine to have. But yeah, if you are doing stuff in animation, you do need a full turnaround. But I do find it very funny how, at least in my experience, a lot of characters are only designed with the 3/4 in as an option, and stuff just does not look good from front or side angle. Honestly, that was the deal with My Little Pony. The ponies look the best from a 3/4 angle. They look really awkward from the front. They look okay from the side, but they look really awkward from the front, so we were discouraged from drawing them from the front, if at all possible. They're like, please don't do it from the front. If you can, do a 3/4. Chris's shadow head. That's your animation lesson for the day. Most characters are designed to look good just in 3/4. And they look weird from the front or the side. I don't think I've seen that. Yeah, fills go much faster on storyboards, which is nice. We'll do that. Like, there's a little bit of a halo on it, but it's not that bad. Man, back in the day before I realized there was automat, I used to just fill these things in by hand, and then, like, I don't remember who it was like, oh yeah, this hotkey literally fills in your lines as long as they're closed. And I'm like, what? I'm gonna skip the flashback ones. I'll come back to those with a color I like. I don't know if I like a color for that yet. We're skipping the flashback shots. I'll come back to those later. Fill that in. At some point I'm gonna have to upgrade my version of Storyboard Pro, and it's gonna be a giant pain in the ass because they don't do one-time purchases anymore. It's all subscription now. Hate it. Fill that in. It's so dumb. Please just let me buy the software once and own it. Can't own jack squat in Chicago or whatever. Detroit, whatever it is. We know. That's what it is. Can't have shit in Detroit. Alrighty. I get to see a lot of goofy smile Susie in this animatic. She can be a goof. Wait, no, not that. Hitting the wrong hotkeys. I always get so mixed up doing hotkeys between this program and Photoshop because the zoom keys are entirely different. Okay. Let's see. Where's your DM? Where'd it go? I don't see it. Oh, okay. I thought you already sent it. Oh, Noelle's looking all cute over here, cute and flustered. Noelle is definitely a character that was not designed as such to look good from the side. She is hard for me to do from the side. She probably looks best from the front. She's got like a humanish face, but it's also like she doesn't have a very deer-based face. Which always bothered me. I wish she had more of a deer face. No, I won't say that to her. Only slightly deerish face. I wouldn't even say she's humanoid. Like, most of the monsters are furries, basically. They're bipedal, humanish looking animal people. That is true. I do like seeing her with a proper deer head. I like that art. I think it's cute. I've gotten used to drawing her with human hands now. I do kind of miss hoof hands though. Okay. Yeah, that might be harder to do via pixels. That might be the case. Okay, let's switch over here. Again, it's gonna be a very quick doodle. Back to the past. Yeah, I just kind of wish that they had more, I wish they had more Servine features, basically. Maybe I should just, stick with the angle that she's at. I don't know what this character is from. Ah, I see. That explains why the art style's familiar. I'm vaguely familiar with Disgaea, mostly from my roleplay days. A bunch of people I know played Disgaea characters. Well, I was over playing the Kingdom Hearts characters. But yeah, this looks like the Disgaea art style. I've not played Phantom Brave at all, though. The leg up a little bit. A bit of a jump there. I'm gonna do this a little bit. Oh, hair is a little longer down the back. That's a cute little squiggly. Oh, I don't like that hand at all. I'm gonna redo that. A little bit better. Okay. There you go. Thanks for the request. We'll put her over here. We're making our way downtown. About, like, what, 40% through the page? Yay, thank you. Glad that you like it. Thank you for the request. I will continue back on with the fills. Yeah, I haven't played Phantom Brave. There's a lot of games I haven't played, though. Yep, I will post the whole sheet when the whole sheet's full. So get those requests in, and then the sheet will fill up, and it will be, bleh, can't say words now. It'll be shared throughout the galaxy, as you do. Yes, you do have to make a request. You have to redeem channel points. You can redeem channel points by just following. If you just follow and chat and stuff for a while, you will get more channel points. Obviously, for the art requests, save that for art streams. I can't really do it when I'm playing games. I need to figure out other things to do for channel points for games. You're halfway there. Whoa! So if you show up next stream, which should be next Sunday, then you should be able to get it by then. And if you sub, you will earn even more points. True. Susie looking a little down. But that's okay, she will cheer up soon. Had to turn off audio scrubbing for this. Yeah, you can do that in a future one. I think there's like a short cooldown period for requests. I don't get like bombarded by like 10 in a row from the same person, but otherwise they're pretty open. Grief, we might just power through most of the fills in this time because they take so little time when it's like hotkey and hotkey. Nice, nice. So many games to play. Oh, also speaking of playing game stuff, so yesterday I'm like, okay, I'll spend some time leveling up. Level grinding my party from Mother 3 so that we can do the next boss battle better. And randomly, twice, while I was doing so, I got a random item drop for what I'm pretty sure is supposed to be Kumatora's best weapon, like the mystical gloves or whatever. I got that twice. I was like, wait a minute, these like boost all of her stats by a lot. How did that happen? So I have 2 mystical gloves. I put one of them on her. I guess that's her ultimate weapon. Crazy. I just stumbled across that. I got it from like the orangutan things twice. Just while I was level grinding. Yeah. That's her ultimate weapon. Okay, cool. I just stuck that on her. So that was neat. What do I do with the other gloves? Should I just sell them? Are they worth a lot? Yeah, for Mother 3. I was just doing a little level grinding, so I'm like, okay, I'll try and get in better shape for the boss battle next time. Guess no other purpose. I didn't know that you could get, like, ultimate weapon drop twice in relatively short amount of time. That's crazy. Do they all have ultimate weapons? Well, Boney doesn't really have a weapon. Because he's a dog. 3%. Oh, that's wild. I got it. Yeah, I seriously got it twice within a relatively short amount of time. I assume Lucas has an ultimate weapon drop somewhere too, but I don't know where that would come from. I'm sorry, I know nothing about Phantom Brave. I am not versed at all in Phantom Brave. Lucas says 2 contenders for ultimate weapon and 1 is a random drop. Okay, interesting. Oh, sorry, I think I might have missed it. I might have missed it, sorry. I like it when Susie gets to be Scary Teeth. She should get to be Scary Teeth more. More! Noelle likes it too. Okay. Yes, I'm glad you like the Marona sketch. Very cute character. Oh, it came out in PS2. I guess PS2 was, technically speaking, the first console I ever owned. I'm old enough to have gotten all the other consoles, but my parents did not like video games for us, so we didn't really have consoles growing up. Yep, I drew it when Noelle's blocking her, because usually when I draw boards, I draw characters on different layers so that I can track the action across what's happening. Yep. We did try and play some games on our PC. But even then we got told off a little bit for that. We played a lot of Heroes of Might and Magic 2 and 3. Oh yeah, like if this was being animated, then like, you know, they're not going to put the character behind there the whole time. But for my own purposes, it's not that hard to be like, okay, I'm keeping track of where the character is. I suspect a lot of animations just like do weird BS in order to accomplish, you know, a shot easier. Let's see. Random bullshit, go! No, Jackenstein does not use LEDs of a candle. In fact, that's the point. You're speaking out a little bit from behind Noelle. I always use candles in my jack-o'-lanterns growing up. You don't need like a really big candle, you just need like a little tea light. We never had a problem with it. When I was growing up, we used regular candles for my thing. Actually, probably should make this slightly lighter gray. She's getting closer to the camera. Well, in this situation, it's a candle for purposes of the story. For story reasons, it is a candle. I mean, I used to live in LA too. I am well aware of the fire hazard situation. Yes, it's Jackenstein. Oh yeah, I am well aware. Like, literally, I have had to evacuate from fire. My family had to do that quite a bit recently with the LA fires. They had to evacuate. At least my brother and his husband did. Ironically, my parents were okay where they were because the previous fire that had happened like a month before burned everything around where they were. So they were like, okay, we don't have to worry about the fire from this fire because the previous fire already burned everything and there's no fuel left for it to take. So, like, stuff was, the hills were really black and charred. Stuff was still growing back. But my brother was in some danger. Yeah, no, I fully understand. I fully understand. I am not in LA right now, but I have been for a lot of my life. I am fully aware of fire danger. But they are not in LA. They are probably in New England somewhere. Where did I grow up? Mostly California. I was not born in California, but I spent, I would say, most of my life there. Okay, I do want this part to be the same gray thing. No, they don't have a firefighter thing. Okay, I'm glad you liked it. They don't have a firefighter in Hometown, but honestly, I think the problem they're going to have to worry about is not fire, it's rain. I was born in Texas. That's where I was from. I did not spend long there, though. Let's see if we can't make this a little bit easier on myself. There we go. Carol, you suck as mayor. Yeah, I was born in Texas, but again, I didn't live there that long. Like a month. We went back to my birth place once recently for a family reunion, and I was like, "Oh, Mom, it's kind of dire out here." very small East Texas town. Doesn't look that nice in January. Very flat and gray. It's ugh. I'm happy with where I live now. Where I live, there are seasons. There's a beautiful spring and fall, and there's snow in the winter. Yeah. Sorry, Texas. There's gorgeous mountains I can look out and see all the time, and forests. I like where I live. I liked California too. I did like California. I like the ocean. I like going to the ocean in California. I actually don't know about Asgore's place being set on fire. I actually don't know about that. Got all that right. Because again, even though, Garrison mentioned the... Oh, can you please, send me, reference? Unless you already did it? Okay. Well, this will be a quickie doodle. Let me see. Check my Discord. Alright, let's scooch back on over. Okay, this might be the last thing I do because I'm almost done. Come on. Photoshop. Come on. Come on, little Photoshop. Come on. Come on. Oh, good grief. I'm doing the hotkeys wrong. Okay, the hotkeys for Storyboard Pro are 1 and 2, and then, they are, brackets for Photoshop, and I always forget that. Okay, let's see what we can do with a really quickie sketch here. Cute stuff. That's a fun design. I always like wing ears. Wing ears are fun to do. Wing anything's fun to do. You can tell by me doing Skybox. I like drawing feathers and wings. Like, what if I just made a story where I had to do that all the time, and then I went and did it? That's my advice. If you're going to draw a comic about something that, make sure it's about drawing about something you like drawing. Okay. Please do read Skybox. It's all finished. It is completed and done. Yeah, I appreciate living in a place where seasons actually change. Like, I did like California for a lot of reasons, but it's a little rough because seasons don't really change in California. It is warm all year round and not much rain. Okay, I'm hoping I'm doing this right. Yeah, that's pretty much California too. It's like, well, it's another 80-degree day in March, in November. We haven't actually gotten that much rain so far this fall. I'm hoping for a little more. It's supposed to be next week, but then last week they're like, it'll be raining all next week. It did not rain all this week. Yeah, California is definitely, it's 80 degrees and sunny all the time. It's pretty warm out right now, honestly, considering it's October. As long as it's not on fire. Oh yeah, I know the North Hollywood area. Before I moved here, I did live in Burbank for a while. And I worked in Hollywood. Like the actual like town Hollywood. Wasn't anything glamorous, but it was fine to start out with. Oh, muggy. Ugh, yeah, I don't like humidity. Yeah, this is a fun outfit. Faffy. I'm gonna draw more centaurs. Have I ever been to Asia? No, I haven't. I've been to a lot of places in Europe. I've been to Mexico and stuff like that. But a lot of places in Europe. I really would like to go to Asia sometime. Or Australia. Since I moved out on my own, I honestly haven't traveled that much. But I have done a lot in Europe, especially when I was younger. I've been to a lot of different European countries. Boop, boop, boop. No feather. Well, Asia is big. I guess, like, where would I go? Like, I could go to, like, you know, India, Philippines, Japan, Korea. I don't know. I'd be open to anything. Yeah, I guess Japan is hard to go to. Especially nowadays. My brother was actually talking about taking me along with, you know, him and his husband. They wanted to go to the 2020, that's not what I wanted. They wanted to go to the Olympics in 2020. Obviously, that did not happen. That did not happen. All right. Hooray. We got another one on the page. Okay. And we'll pop back over here. I'll do this one real quick. We'll finish off this shot real quick because we just got to do a few more of those. Okay. And there we go. I already got like halfway through all the fills just in like a quick half hour. That's how the power of Automat. But yeah, I'll probably finish this up soon. And I imagine next week, if I don't do an Eldertron thing, I will probably do working on, again, a thumbnail image for YouTube. And all that goodness. We're about done with the animatic. Again, that's not going to get posted until Halloween, because I want it to be a Halloween thing, because Jackenstein. Inappropriate for that. Oh, that weather sounds terrible. I hope that you all go out into decent weather, because yeah, it is, oh my goodness, I just looked outside and there's a huge spider web on my balcony. It's like an orb spider web. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. I wish I could take a picture. It's really hard to take good pictures of spider webs, I feel like. Orb weaver, yeah, it's an orb weaver web. It's such a pretty web. It's all big and round. Oh, I wonder where the spider is. I don't see her. But the web's there. Oh, Hawaii. That sounds nice. I've never been to Hawaii. But yeah, sorry, the stream is coming to an end. Because I usually I need to stop and get some lunch and do a bunch of other stuff. But yes. Oh no! Orb weavers are nice spiders. They're not harmful. They make really beautiful webs and they eat bugs. So they're very nice. But yeah, I will be back for more of Mother 3 on Friday. And then, of course, there will be more art next Sunday. I think next Sunday's a long weekend for me, actually. So it'll be good, and we will have plenty more to do. hopefully we'll not be suffering. Again, I did some level grinding. We got some amazing new weapons, and we should be good for that. Yeah, thank you again for doing the doodles, for joining me for cuteness with the lesbians. And yeah, this will be done soon. Yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care of yourselves. And I will see you all next time. Alrighty, and see you later.